You've just had the best night you've had in months. The people you love most. The conversations that actually meant something. And now you're home, alone, and you feel like you've been hit by something invisible. Not tired. Demolished. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a thought forms that you've never quite said out loud. That being around the people you love the most costs you more than being around anyone else. That the closer someone is to you, the more completely they drain you. You've probably told yourself it means something is wrong with you, that you're broken in some quiet, unfixable way. But that's not what the science says. What the science says is far more disturbing. Your brain has been running a program you never agreed to install. Think about what it actually takes to talk to a stranger. A barista, someone at the checkout line. Neurologically, almost nothing. Your brain assigns them a low-threat, low-value classification, processes their words at surface level, and moves on. There is no emotional overhead, no memory formation that matters, no stakes. Now think about what happens the moment you walk into a room with someone you actually love. Everything changes. Your brain doesn't relax. It accelerates. It enters a state that neuroscientists describe as hyper-vigilance. Not the kind triggered by danger, but by deep attachment. When the bond matters, your mind cannot afford to miss anything. Every micro-expression, every slight shift in tone, every pause that lasts half a second too long. Your brain is scanning all of it, simultaneously, in real time. Because losing this person, even slightly, even temporarily, registers as a genuine threat. You're not just hanging out. You're running threat detection software on someone you love every single second you're with them. But this is where the science gets deeply unsettling. That scanning process is metabolically expensive. Your brain consumes glucose the way a computer running heavy software consumes battery. Not linearly, but exponentially. And the more emotionally significant the relationship, the heavier the cognitive load. Researchers studying social cognition found that authentic intimacy, the kind where you're genuinely present, genuinely calibrated to another person, produces brain activity patterns closer to high-stakes problem-solving than casual conversation. You are not resting in the company of people you love. You are performing one of the most cognitively demanding tasks your nervous system is capable of. And there's a second layer beneath that. When you care about someone, you don't just process who they are. You process who they think you are. There is a version of you that exists inside their mind. A version with a specific history, specific behaviors, specific emotional patterns. And your brain knows this. It tracks it. It quietly ensures that the person sitting across from you still matches the version they carry. That nothing you say tonight contradicts the story they've built about you over years. That's not performance. That's a biological maintenance system operating below your awareness, and it runs the entire time you're together. Neuroscientists call this the authenticity paradox. The more genuine the relationship, the more neurological resources required to sustain it. Wearing a social mask with someone you don't care about is, metabolically speaking, easier than being truly vulnerable with someone you love. Your brain spends less energy pretending than it does being real. Official studies confirmed something no one wanted to believe, that the people who report the deepest, most meaningful social connections also experience the steepest drop in cognitive and emotional energy after spending time with those people. Not because the relationships are toxic, because they are genuine. And then comes the crash. At some point, after enough hours, your brain reaches a threshold. The high-frequency social data becomes too much to process. Empathy starts to short-circuit. The system begins an emergency shutdown. Not because you've stopped loving them, but because the hardware has hit its limit. What follows is not rudeness or indifference. It's biology, a desperate, involuntary need to be alone, to stop inputting, to let the processor cool. The cruelest part is the guilt that arrives with it, because the shutdown happens after the best moments, after real laughter, real honesty, real connection. And so you sit with this private confusion. Why does the thing I love most leave me feeling the most broken? But you are not broken. You are simply expensive. And the people who cost the most to be around are the ones your brain has decided matter enough to pay full price for. The strategies exist. Micro breaks during long evenings. Quiet minutes in another room that reset the nervous system without ending the night. Low stimulus proximity. Sitting near someone you love without the pressure of constant exchange, which maintains the bond without triggering the full vigilance loop. Treating the crash not as failure, but as data, evidence of depth. None of that is the unsettling part, though. The unsettling part is what this implies about everything else, about all the moments you thought you were present, but your brain had quietly begun to shut the window, about every relationship where the love was real, but the system kept running until something finally gave out. Most people never realize it's happening. They just know that being loved, truly loved, eventually becomes something they need to recover from. And here's the question that follows you out of this video and into your evening, into whatever moment comes next. If your brain has been quietly deciding which people are worth the full cost all along, how certain are you that you've been the one making that choice?